Oh, dear.
Well, this was sent to us by extended family member Tom Honeycutt, and it's Steve-isms. He wanted to write a paper on, your unique use of the language. And so I just go ahead and read this for you. 99.5 KISS Radio Steve Hahn breathes life and laughter into the English language. As a longtime extended family member, KISS KISS 99.5, I've been exposed to the linguistic hijinks of Uncle Cousin Stevie Hahn on a daily basis. Hahn, with his Mexican-American and German heritage, resides in a cultural right field end zone, but always manages to toss one or two phrases for a first down during the Lisle Hahn Morning Show. Some newer extended family members, or those less accustomed to the Spanish language, drug culture, rock and roll, radio lingo, or Stevie's unique perspective on life, may need some help translating or interpreting keywords and expressions. I offer this in homage to the man con la lengua oro.
Gee, thanks.
Uncle Cousin Stevie Hahn comes by his language ability from a life in live radio, exposure to the incestuous and sodomistic couplings between music and the drug culture, and as an astute observer and enthusiastic participant in the culture and quirkiness of San Antonio, his beloved hometown. Not one to stand by and take the needless sufferings of extended family, Stevie often offers up his wise counsel, and only in a way capable of this crazy uncle. Take, for example, one recent supplicant, a female suffering the manic-depressive pangs of romance. Sarah, the seeds and stems reality is that you need to drop that chingon, he offers on a recent show. Chingon isn't a term that we'd define in a family publication, but in an extended family publication, we certainly offer that it means... I can't say this, Tom. Anyhow, that's not exactly the way he's meant it, but see, that's what I mean. I'm reading it. He's trying to interpret your stuff, and I'm thinking, no, this isn't it either. Anyhow, for those not up on the patois of the drug culture.
Patois? God, that makes me hungry.
Seeds and stems are what's left at the bottom of the glad bag after you've exhausted your supply of weed, or mota, as Stevie often refers to this illegal but ubiquitous substance. Anyone from Central America would instantly understand the term for marijuana. Some sources spell this as, correct me if I don't say this right, muta, or mutta. For those more interested, see TexasPoliceCentral.com for its excellent glossary of drug terms. Coincidentally, this Spanish noun derives from the word for a tiny piece of, a tiny piece or fluff of stuff, certainly appropriate for some of the long dry spells in South Texas. Herr Professor Freud might have fruitful insights into our man Hahn's habitual tendency towards clothes and body parts, which add linguistic flavor to his stew-pot lingo. San Antonians familiar with Tex-Mex, Spanglish, and other idioms representing the polyglot of San Antonio cultures understand Beaverhead when he makes reference to chonies. If not, well, then some explanation. Technically, chonies are shorts, lower body vestments that may only cover strategic portions of the male or female body. Now, Steve's linguistic masterpiece is using chonies as an immediate twisted mental picture of the outcome he's reporting. The Spurs really took it in the chonies last night, he might offer during his daily newscast to imply a particularly awful showing by the city's NBA franchise. There's another location that he uses aptly to describe the pain of defeat. The Brown Burrow brother is quite comfortable with a word I've yet to find adequately defined in Webster's. The Spurs took it up the Bobo last night, he's wont to say on those occasions when the local boys figuratively play the female role to Eddie James' Almost an American Me. Alternately, Uncle Cousin mixes up the reporting with some expertly concise verbal badinage. The Spurs laid pipe to the Lakers last night, he reports. And while a laid-back, forgiving personality, a more laid-back, forgiving personality you'll never find, don't get on Stevie's bad side. The ire rises and the curses can flow. Pinche cabrón, pendejo. Dumbass, actually a pubic hair, according to some sources. Puta, a prostitute. Note this is a feminine noun, since who pays a guy for sex? Culo, the English equivalent of an ass, not a donkey, but really the portal over which many have a tattoo reading exit only, and maricon, typically translated as, but certainly a title that conveys an effeminate character. While Steve's frequent references to chanclas don't carry an alternative scatological drug culture or ad hominem double meaning that I can adequately discern from the usual sources, it's just a fun word to say. By the way, for those of you who are Spanish culture challenged, chanclas are the cheap variety thongs or flip-flops that Stevie himself might sport on suitable occasions. Of course, Lisle and Hahn both prefer to avoid any misunderstandings or misinterpretations derived from the use of thong. There's only one use, and only by the most comely ladies arriving on the set of the Lisle and Hahn Morning Show.
Ad hominem, now I want some menudo.
The alliterative nature of CH words might explain the frequent utterances from the news hound of the group. Hahn often invokes the word chisme when he wants a caller or guest to offer up the dirt or gossip on a celebrity. And he wants chingo stories, piles of the dirt. Now, another area of expertise for Cousin Stevie is his verbal malapropisms. He has a uncanny ability to twist the English language to suit his purposes. Just consider this recent mild curse when Steve referred to one caller as anti-semantic. Sometimes it takes a dictionary, a beer, and a clarification from Stevie to get to the bottom of his personal language. When I asked for proper spelling of Stevie's favorite word for controversy, I got Hileehey, Hileehey.
Close enough.
Any help out there? And when there's a present of violence, you're likely to hear him refer to chingazos, fisticuffs, a throwdown, or melee. Likely activity in a South Zamora ice house. One mojado puts the movidas on another's sancha. Scholars agree that the English language is a living, breathing entity, subject to or susceptible to the influences of culture, human nature, fad, and whimsy. Language purists might not include Uncle Cousin Stevie Hahn among the movers and shakers of punditry, certainly no successor to Webster or Partridge, but he certainly qualifies as a cunning linguist.
Well, that Tom's quite a wordsmith, ain't he? That's right. I ain't afraid to show my ignorance.
Ow. Ow. When I get that kind of time, that's when I clean the bottom of the fry pan. And all that gummy stuff collects. I like getting all that off.
We'll sell you a transcript of that for $5.
How about that, huh? That's a tribute to you.
Gosh, I feel like Michael Jackson there at Madison Square Garden.
So you can accept your Lifetime Achievement Award?
It's like I expect to see Elizabeth Taylor and Liza Minnelli on their feet giving me an ovation and stuff, you know?
Outside the boundaries of their phony world of kicks is the ever-present possibility of discovery. This must be avoided at all costs, for discovery brings with it the penalties of society: shame, arrest, prison. Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville.